Welcome to the High Tea Podcast. We're your hosts, Mel, Kelly, and Kay, where we sit and speak on what many are thinking but are too shy and not bold enough to say. So buckle up, grab a glass, and pickies up. Now enough stalling. Let's get into the show.
Ladies, it's an amazing Sunday evening.
An evening.
Another ass backwards recording session.
Yes!
I have to take personal accountability for this one. I completely messed up, and unfortunately, I was definitely the black girl who fucked up and was very irresponsible in my communication.
I mean,
Don't even put that on you.
So, no, it's accountability. I owned up to it. I apologize to those who were involved, and we're gonna keep it moving either way. The future is gonna happen no matter what, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ooh, another bar. Thank you, Jesus. All right, so oh my gosh, this is the first time we're talking to each other since Kishana's birthday.
Oh, yay!
I mean, for like, for recording type of talking.
We haven't talked on the phone or anything.
Yeah.
Because I was in a country where, the Wi-Fi isn't that great.
Also, we're not in that kind of relationship to call each other also.
Yeah.
Like, especially a three-way, it gotta be a serious.
It has to be something going on.
Yeah.
Yep. Life or death.
We just don't do it just to do it. First of all, I don't even like talking on the phone that much. Like,
Yeah.
and everybody already knows me. I have ADHD when I'm on the phone. I can't focus on like being on the phone and doing this and having a conversation or listening to a conversation all at the same time.
I literally sometimes would be like, girl, I'm gone. I'm gonna go. You not paying attention to me how I need you to. I gotta go.
Now, when it comes to Melissa especially, I know like, okay, Mel, we schedule calls. So normally when she schedules a call with me, I'm either going to be doing my nails, which I can focus more in on. I can multitask more there. But other than that, no. Or cooking. That's it. Other than that, nope.
Yeah. I accepted this a long time ago.
Thank you.
And I love her either way.
Yeah.
But anyways. Well, I hope you had a great birthday.
I did.
It looked like you had fun.
I did. It was very
Maxing,
good.
relaxing, chilling, all cool.
Yes.
Ooh. I hope you didn't shoot no b-ball though.
I wasn't shooting b-ball. I was smacking volleyballs though.
Outside of
Schooling
school?
these hoes.
On the beach.
Well, happy belated birthday, boo.
Thank you, babies.
Glad you're on this earth again with us.
Mhm.
Continuously.
Thank
Forever.
you. Thank you.
Of course, my love. All right, well, let's get on the schedule for today. So, we are going to talk about attractions and what that dives into as far as like the physical versus emotional, because those are two different things.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm. Then, of course, we're going to have our social media moment, and our second topic is going to be real straight to the point. We're going to talk about this mess that is happening currently right now in Texas.
Or the mess that is Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Or that has been happening, I should say, for a while.
Centuries.
We're going to talk about that because anger.
We all hot.
Yeah. And of course, we'll wrap this up with our weekly recommendations. Bam. All right. So, of course, we're going to start with questions. So, I want to know, what's the most interesting thing that you've noticed that you find attractive in whoever? I'm going to say you're opposite sex, but, not assuming.
What you want for first? Physical or emotional, or just go on?
Whatever. Tell
on.
me. I want to know all of it.
All right. So for me, one of mine is teeth. Physical is teeth.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
I know that may sound like weird to some people because people are like, oh, eyes, lips, smile, hair, this, that. No, mine's is teeth because I have a tendency of when I'm having conversations with people, because I feel kind of cringe, like looking people in the eye all the time. It's weird. Like, It's very weird. And so I have a tendency to like look at people's mouth. So for me, teeth is very appealing.
I can see
I like
that.
to look at people's teeth.
Okay.
I don't know. I like to look at people's teeth. That's it.
I don't find that weird. I find your reasoning the interesting part of that.
I don't know. Like I don't really hold. I can hold eye contact, but at the same time, like I feel like eye contact can be a little misleading a lot of times because people don't
As a
know how to
woman,
read.
yes.
Yes, because people don't know how to read social cues. Just because I'm looking at you in your face, in your
Does not
eyes,
mean I won't.
does
Mhm.
not mean that I'm other
I wanna
things,
do you,
whatever
baby.
you're thinking. Because
Yeah, I agree.
some people are just weird when it comes to that. So I have a tendency of looking at teeth,
Okay.
Nice.
and I'm also very anal about teeth. So
Well, as we all should be.
and
That
some
breath
people
be
are
kicking.
not.
First of all, the super cigarette heroin teeth.
Yeah, no, bye.
No.
I will walk out of a date real quick.
Yep.
So I definitely would think when it comes to physicality of looking at a guy, I look at forearms.
Really?
That yes, I love a good forearm. Like it looks strong. You know, it does something to me. I don't know why.
It's gonna keep
Probably
you safe in the
there's
nighttime.
it is. It's like a good cuddle hug, you know?
Your forearm game better be strong for Kelly's neck.
Right, man. Don't choke me out though. Only in the bedroom though. That, there's limits.
You don't like a little choking, Kelly?
I like joking when the time is right, but we ain't gonna be physical, if you know what I
This ain't
mean.
no BDSM. Like,
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Don't take it too
No.
far.
Yeah. But when it comes to friends, I think I look more at obviously emotional. And it's definitely the whole if I don't have to try to change myself for that person, then you're basically my friend.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I can be completely myself. I can be vulnerable. When you start to feel like you have to change the way that you speak, the way that you act, you have to hide stuff from certain people, that's when you know that person's not a friend, because your friends are really the ones who are going to see you in your ugliest states.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. I wrote this question. I didn't honestly think about it because I think everything I do in life is weird.
Oh.
Honestly, I think we could all agree the people I date are typically on the weirder side. It's just the genuineness of them being themselves is very attractive to me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I mean, it's usually fine because we usually like the same shit. Keyword, I think everything I do is weird.
I like to say you're eclectic with your men choosing. Yeah, which is great.
I choose what feels good.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Which is how it should be, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. I love my boo, but I know he's not a GQ, but he's mine.
Right. That's
I'll
all
still
that
choke a
matters.
bitch.
That's all that matters.
Mm-hmm. Not
Still
everybody
out
is gonna be Idris Elba. They're gonna be Steve Urkel.
Sometimes we wish.
Yeah.
But dreams end. I like this life. It's pretty great. Anyways, all right. So we talked about more so physical. So what about your favorite? Doesn't even have to be interesting, but what are your some of your favorite emotional attractions?
I won't really know if I won't really consider it emotional, but it's something that is very important to me that creates attraction to me to people. Like, I'll use like my boyfriend for example. The one thing that made me very attracted to him, like within our first couple dates, was the way he treats strangers. Like, him and my dad especially, they have a tendency of being very humorous with strangers, or like making like waiters feel like comfortable to have conversations and to feel open. And because my dad and my boyfriend are huge tippers, like there are people who would tip you for days. And he's very personable, and he is a people's person even though he's not a people's person, if that makes sense. He just likes people to feel comfortable around him. So that's something that I was super attracted to, and that's something that I'm still super attracted to about him. Is just the way he treats strangers. Like, this is the guy that, like, if he sees like an old lady, and she doesn't even have to be struggling, like he can just see a lady and be like, "Ma'am, do you need help?" Even if she doesn't need help, and I'm just like, "You're too fucking nice. You're too fucking nice." So yeah, so that's something that I find very attractive, is the way you treat people, because I see it as a reflection. If you treat strangers a certain way, it kind of will reflect on how you would treat people in your life as well, because those habits don't die.
Yep. That's hard to come by
Oh yeah,
nowadays.
yeah.
I think for me, it's definitely the fact of if you can respect each other's love languages, whether that's a friendship or in a romantic relationship, because it's not like I have to sit down and tell you exactly what my love language is, but if you can even decide what it is without me telling you, that means that you have given me your undivided attention also. So that's another big one. Um, because I think knowing what your language is, it really does translate into the relationship that you're going to have as friends and as partners. And it really can make or break a situation.
Yeah.
So if I think between the three of us, we know each other's very well. We don't talk to each other all the time, but that's our language. We're not upset with each other. We're not pissed off. We're not trying to hold something back, but like we still know that each other has a life. And when we come together, like when we're doing this podcast, we talk up a storm.
Yep.
So definitely those two things.
Yeah. But one thing I learned with men when it comes to love language, you kind of gotta tell them a little bit, because
Oh yeah.
that's
No,
not like,
they're not.
those
They
are
don't
not
pick
things
up
they
on the
think.
cues.
No, and those are things that they don't think about. They just think about, how do I love her, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Or how do I show her that I love her? Because
Yeah.
their acts of affection, and that's one thing I had to like learn very deeply coming into this relationship, is that his way of showing me that he loves me is completely different from my way of showing him that I love him. And it's something that I had to learn, and something I had to cope with, because I was trying to see him loving me the way I love him, and I realized it's not the same at all. Like,
Yeah.
at all.
And it's not fun if it's not different.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's so monotonous if it's the same.
Yeah, I don't think thinking about it, like, I don't think I can probably love somebody the way I love them. Will have them love me the way I love them, or the way I show, because I think that for me will be very like, whoa, get the fuck away.
Yeah, you would be annoyed by yourself.
It's like looking at a twin.
Yeah,
you would not be about it.
Yeah, because in my nature, I'm very independent in my nature, where I'm like, I can do it myself. It's fine. I can do it myself. I'm fine. But when it comes to other people, it's like, come, let me help you. Come, let me help you. I'll help you. Come, let me help you. Let me help you. And if somebody's like that with me, I'd be like, yo, get like a
the hell
whole
away
ass
from me.
mile away from me. Just go. What about you, Mel?
I kind of want to expand on the last one that I said, of, like, them just being wholeheartedly themselves, but with that being honest, because honesty is sexy as hell. When someone's just open and honest and just straight to the point, no games about like the big things, like their intentions, what they want, like they tell you what it is. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Thank you for not making me chase the answer out of you.
Right.
Like, we went to dinner and had a whole ass conversation with my sister about like what the plan is for when we get engaged, and she was just like, wait, what? Y'all what? And I was like, yeah, me and this man have had several conversations about this. This is great.
Like, people talk about this stuff. You need to talk about this kind of stuff, especially if that's where those are things you want out of life.
Yeah.
People are taken aback about how much me and him talk about stuff, because they're like, wait, you talked about finances and
like,
money?
Yeah.
You talked about kids? Yeah. And all the side things that come with it, before, after, and during. Yeah. We talk about a lot of shit. I just want to get it out the way.
Right.
I want to know what all of it, so I can make my own choice.
Mm-hmm.
People are
We're not
surprised.
18 years old.
Right. People are surprised that we
Yeah.
save money together. I'm just like, yeah, because we ain't going nowhere. Where we going? Where he going? He's gonna lose a foot if he goes somewhere. Like that's just it.
A foot, you say?
A foot.
Oh, okay. Interesting choice. I respect it.
Because every time he try to walk or he get a prosthetic, he thinks about me. That's why he don't have a foot no more.
My God. Lasting impression.
Yep. You ain't dying because once you die, you no longer think of me.
Oh, wow.
Jeez.
So I repeat, we choosing violence today.
All of it.
She ready.
Oh, wow. I know what it's like now to hear myself talk. I understand. I'm so sorry.
This is why we just chuckle.
Got it. Speaking of semi-toxic, what would happen? So we talked about this kind of before, but like when you start to really get to know someone, whether regardless if it's dating or friendship, and you start to notice some toxic behaviors, what is your next steps once you notice it?
Bring it up and keep talking about it.
Yeah, when it comes to friends, it's a little bit more different because I've had toxic friends, but it's just the fact that you keep them at a distance. That's what I think. And I mean, it all depends on your level of friendship with that person as well, because we've said that we've had friends who are just like your friends that you just go grab dinner with like once every other week or whatever the case is, and they can have some toxic as hell traits. But is it toxic to the point where it's infringing on their life or your life or any of those? So I think those also play a role. Like if you guys have toxic traits but you guys are my best friends, like of course I'm gonna say something to you because you're my fucking best friend, like, you know? But when it comes to like a random ass friend that likes to snort coke every once in a while, like I don't care. It's your business. You want to fuck up your nostrils, go ahead. Okay.
I don't even remember what I was saying. Anyways, but I agree. I feel like you need to like figure out exactly what Kishana said of just like, is this a me problem or a them or an us problem?
Right. And how bad is how bad and what's the severity of the toxicity as well? Because you can just have like people who are just fucking toxic in the way that they just like to gossip too fucking much. Like I think that's also a toxic trait. Like gossip is cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like we don't not gossip.
I shared some gossip.
Oh yeah,
right. But that's regular gossip. This isn't like gossip that's gonna go spread like wildfire.
Detrimental.
Exactly. It's not detrimental gossip. But if there's people out there that spread like that are just detrimental gossipers, then yes, that's a toxic trait to me. But at the same time, it's just like, am I affected by listening or am I affected by also putting an opinion? Like,
yeah.
So those are things you have to weigh, and you also gotta weigh, especially on the friendship side, like, what is our relationship to each other? Like, how important are you to me or me to you, and how will it affect this relationship if I tell you that whatever you're doing is toxic? That's how I see the friends one. There's levels to that shit because we've had some real toxic friends in our life.
We've been toxic friends to each other,
right? So it is what it is. It all just depends.
Can you say honesty?
I've had to learn a lot of lessons in life, I can tell you that.
Right.
Which is perfectly fine. So I want us to like shotgun some loves and are non-negotiables of attractions. Because I think we've all had friends who'd be like, oh, I find this so attractive. And you're like, ew, that sounds disgusting. That sounds like an awful idea.
Oh man, that's funny. Oh,
Just saying. We all know some people who make toxic, bad decisions.
Looking like a tree monster for real.
Yeah, and especially with attractions. Yeah, that shit gets nasty.
Yeah, and I'm not all about going based off physical attractions because that's really not the first thing that I look at. But I'm gonna say if you are not above 5'9" as a male, I can't do it.
You like
because
tall. You like them a little height.
I do because once I get heels on, I'm gonna be like 6'1". So you need to match my height in a picture or in person because it just looks odd. I don't have a discrimination against smaller people. I just need them a little tall just to match
you have
me.
a preference, and that's okay. Having a preference is perfectly okay.
Yes,
because I have a preference with height as well.
Let's go ahead and put these disclaimers out right now. These are our attractions to people who we find attractive. That does not mean we're saying don't date these people. These are just people we won't date.
Right.
Yeah. Nothing personal.
Right. Yeah. And adding to that, everyone is entitled to a preference. Everyone's entitled to liking whoever they like and being attracted to whoever they're like. It's not about shaming short people. It's not about shaming anybody that's big or skinny or anything like that. We just all have preferences, and that is okay for the people who love to scream, "That's phobic, that's this, that's discrimination, blah, 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 blah." It depends on the comments you make after you state your preference.
Yes.
That's what it depends on.
If you go out on the street and saying, "Fuck these fat bitches," you're an asshole. You need to get punched in the face.
Sit down.
But if he's telling his friends, like, "Oh yeah, I normally don't date bigger girls," that's fine. Let that man live. He likes some skinny, go for it.
He just don't like the thick thighs.
Them.
They got more bone mass. You go ahead with that fun stuff. Right. We fluffy like air over here, proudly.
Marshmallows over here, so we're good.
Delicious.
Delectable.
They put us in pies. They put us in drinks. There you go.
And we always got that. So right.
Period. Poo.
But speaking of I feel like this is a big girl thing. I don't know why, but I love some good old tight hugs.
Oh yes,
that just makes me melt.
You feel so safe.
Yeah,
I swear, man.
It feels like you're being just cuddled to sleep. Like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, that's why I have to be the little spoon.
Oh yeah. I'm a little spoon all the way.
I can be both.
Not a question. I can be both, but I prefer the little.
Yeah, it just feels more natural. The curves of my body go better.
Yeah, true. I like to be in the nooks. Saying, yeah, let me get tight hug. That's what used to get me in trouble.
It always does.
It traps. Anyways, what about? I agree with you though, Kelly. I can't do the short thing. That's not here on my list. I'm so sorry. Like, if I put my heels on, I will be fine with an inch shorter than me with heels on.
Right.
I could do that. But if I have to literally, like, lean forward to kiss you,
nah.
Like, a going down lean forward, I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah.
I think we gotta call this.
That reminds me of this. That reminds me of this meme that this video that I seen the other day. It was at someone's wedding, and the groom is shorter than his bride. So this man got little step stools, probably about maybe about 4 inches each. And he this is when he was supposed to say his I do's. He went to the back, got his little step stools, put them down, and everybody was crying.
Oh my god!
At least he's honest.
Yes, he was very honest about it. And she was laughing. Like, she found it very funny that this guy really came to the wedding. With
I would hope so. They're about to get married.
The only thing that pissed me off is that he had on some Ugg slippers.
Oh, what? No.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah.
That she should have been upset about.
Right. That was
fuck? No. I can't do the, refusing to want to evolve as a person.
Oh yeah.
Like, they don't even take in the consideration of it. They're like, oh, no, I'm not doing that. What do you mean you're not doing it? You're not even going to think about it?
So closed-mindedness. So basically people who
Yes.
are just not open for any type of opinion or anything
They're
like that.
perfectly content with the ill content.
Yep.
Or being comfort in their comfort.
It's not even comfort. What's the other word for it? Complacent. They're fine being complacent. And I can't.
It's like those people who say that, oh, I don't like sushi. And I'm like, but have you ever had sushi? No. Why don't you
Shut
like
up.
So how would you like something that you never had? Because it's raw. I'm like, not all sushi is raw, but okay.
I can't stand people.
Perfect segue, ignorance. That's a no for me. Signs of ignorance makes me want to choke a motherfucker. And once again, I don't want to go to jail because I won't make it.
And with that, the people who always wants to be right, like, it's like you can't have a separate opinion from them, or else they will argue you down to have the same opinion as them, or to say that yeah, you're right.
Yeah, no.
Because I'm a believer in agreeing to disagree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is perfect because, like, I love a good deep conversation. And not every conversation needs to be deep deeping, meaningful experience of a conversation. No, like, just every once in a while having a nice, deep conversation just about real shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because those deep conversation makes you feel connected as well. Whether it's to a friend or someone romantically.
Like my mom says, it's a come to Jesus meeting. You lay it all out.
I mean,
basically.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, like, it doesn't even have to be like deep in the sense of it being like a personal conversation about something personal. It can just be about an interest. Like, it could just be about an interest that two people just so happen to have, or just one person is just very curious on why you're interested in that.
Sports, politics, movies, anything.
Yeah.
Topics of the life, the universe, nature,
conspiracy theories, whatever floats y'all boat.
That was actually going to be my next one.
Oh, yeah.
Which was turning your shared interest into shared experiences.
Yes.
That's definitely a big one. Because if you have a one-sided relationship with anybody, you're going to feel at the end of the day that you're not getting anything in return. And it's definitely a two-side street in everything. And it's actually fun to do that. Because if I like doing something and I can like teach you how to do that, or I can show you the ropes around it, and we can actually turn that into a date or into a trip or of something, that's always going to be something that will remain in the memory bank.
Yeah, I agree. Like, example of that, we went, like I told you, we went snorkeling, because I'm not a big fan of like deep water, but my man's a water baby, especially him being a friggin' Aquarius. He's a water baby. So, and he's a very strong swimmer, so good for him. I personally don't like swimming in deep water. Like, don't put me in anything over 6 feet. I'm good. But because it's something that he loves, I'm like, you know what? Let's go do it. I'll troop it out for you. And I ended up having a lot of fun. So,
yeah, it takes that one time.
Yeah, this is actually
at least
the second
try
time.
it. Oh,
even more proud of you, boo.
Yes. I'm like, before I'd be like, no, I'm okay. You go in, I'll stay
like
on
you
this boat.
tried it, bitch.
I'll stay on this boat. and what it is too, it like, I think it also like having those shared experience and doing those shared experience kind of like tightens trust in a way, because it's just like, now I'm doing something I'm fearful for because of you, and it's just like, I'm trusting you with my life and my lungs.
It's the bonding moments for me.
Yes.
I like it when they notice the little things.
Oh, yes.
Like when I wash my hair and he says my hair looks good. Thank you, boo.
Like, yay.
Yeah.
I spent hours on this shit. Thank you. It's just like the little things that just like make you like, oh, look at you noticing shit. Right. I'm proud of you.
You get a cookie tonight.
Yes. Oh yes. The whole thing.
And it makes it kind of cool, especially when you're a person who don't like grand gestures. Like I'm not a person who cares for grand gestures.
Yes.
So
Yep.
those little tiny moments of stuff, even if it's something as basic as bringing me home fruit snacks, it's like you were in the store and you saw the fruit snacks, you thought about me. That's all that matters because you know I love fruit snacks. So
Yeah,
stuff
man.
like that.
This bitch and her fucking fruit snack.
Yeah.
That's what I should have sent you for your goddamn
Just
birthday.
a whole
The
month
fucking
supply of
fruit snacks. God damn it. I fucked up.
Yeah.
Now you can
Yeah.
buy your own goddamn fruit snack.
Yeah, but those little tiny little gestures mean something because I think now, like, especially in like the culture and the generation that we're living in, it's so weird that everything has to be this huge super gesture in order for it to be important.
Well, and people are thinking about the picture to post on social media.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
yes.
that's the bottom line.
Yeah.
People will spend tons of money on the Instagrammable things
For one picture.
Mm-hmm.
but they won't spend the money on the things that create experience.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I don't like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All to be
Tangible
on a platform
items.
can just magically disappear the next day. Like,
Also, most of them motherfuckers got real jobs, and their real jobs don't give a shit.
Yeah.
right.
It's not actually paying no real bills
Nope.
around here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's little things, but one thing I cannot, and I've said it 1,000 times on here before, the fuckboy bullshit, the bullshit in general.
Mm-hmm.
No, we will not. Once I start to smell it, no, you gotta go.
Oh.
I need my air clean, drama free.
Toxic free. This is not a danger zone.
No, this is not Chernobyl. I do not want to be around your toxic waste ass. Like, no. I'm good. I'd rather be alone. What about the deep, meaningful, like genuine laugh?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yes.
Like a good belly acher.
When you got your inside jokes and stuff.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And you can see each other's gums because you're smiling so big. Look like a donkey at times. But it's priceless moment.
You just have to do a little donkey call to each other, like.
Yeah. Oh, those last where you snort. Oh my gosh.
I'm
a sucker for it.
So fucking cute. That's all the ones I have.
I basically agree with them.
Yeah, man.
They're pretty much on par with me.
So
and honestly, everything you said is like non-negotiable.
Right.
Honestly.
Yeah. So before we wrap this up, I want to ask one last question.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most unattractive thing to see in a newly dating situations?
Oh, this may be little for a lot of people, but it means absolutely everything to me. But if you do not know how to properly hold a pencil or a pen, and you especially, yes, if you don't know how to hold your pen or pencil right, and also if you do not know how to cut correctly, like cut your food with a knife, if you're grabbing that fork as a fist and you're sawing your meat, I can't do it. I would walk out. I don't like that. I don't do that.
Violence.
Because I get very angry. It really pisses me off. And that whole chewing with your mouth open, I can't. I just can't.
Like my jaw has been dropped this entire time you've been speaking.
It is a pet peeve and disgrace of mine that I can't stand with a woman or a man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow!
Just can't.
I didn't even think that had to be said, but yeah. Oh
yes. If you're holding that marker or that pencil and you're grabbing it like you're about to choke somebody out or hit somebody in the face because your fist is so balled up, We need to have a talk.
No, we don't.
No, I'm
We need to
out.
run.
You're a serial killer.
No. My fist is gonna hit your mouth. That's the talk.
Oh.
No, I'm out. I don't want no violence.
Nah.
I need to go home because you're not chopping up my body. I'm gonna tell you that right now because apparently you can't cut properly.
Yeah.
So that means it's gonna be a painful death, and I'm good.
And when you talking about somebody gripping that fork and that pen, nah, I'm good.
Have you never seen that?
I have.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen that since high school, and that's
Girl,
that's when I
this.
stopped dating high school kids.
So those are the people who don't have like table manners, but want to
Yes.
act like they have table manners, but don't know how to like correctly hold like utensils or what hand they're supposed to hold what in.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you know how there's people out there that can cut with their left hand. I'm not ambidextrous like that, so I literally have to cut with my right and then put my knife down and then swap back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I get that.
Yeah. Other than that,
I can deal with that.
But there's but there's cycles out there that does exactly what Kelly said, and will be talking over a plate the whole entire time.
Oh God.
I forgot these things existed. Oh my God.
Melissa is speechless.
I thought I loved my man before we started.
Right.
Oh wow.
Yep. That first date or whatever, look at the way that your person is cutting their food. And if they're not cutting correctly, women leave.
If they do it that way, you can't help but notice.
Yeah.
Because it's like watching Fred Flintstone try to operate a fork. You don't understand.
But you know what? If you put two people who have no table manners at a table together and tell them to eat,
they think it's perfectly fine.
Right. It's normal.
But they could also stay together because we don't want them.
Mm-hmm.
Like just like the people who have like a perfectly good knife, they're gonna be struggle cutting with the damn fork. Like the knife is there. You're not eating vegetables, sir.
Yeah.
That's not fish.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girl,
that is one of my biggest things I can't stand.
I don't know if it's because Melissa's been out of like more urban cities for too long.
Yeah, I think that is also
that's what it is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, because in the country they do some wild shit. So no. I just forgot what dating was like. I blocked that shit out.
In the country, they'll stab the whole meat and just like put it straight to the
Eat
face.
it. Carnivore.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Mic drop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. Okay. So I'm gonna drop some shallow, basic bitchness.
I'm trying to think about one for mine. Go ahead, Mel.
Well, mine is gonna be just straight to the point. You gotta have personal hygiene. So, and I don't need. I don't have a GQ at home, and there's a reason why. Because I want that. I don't want a GQ. But if you don't care about how you look and how you smell and what your hygiene's like and your BO and all the things, like the sexiest thing is my man looking up hair, like how to make sure he takes care of his curls. I'm like, yes, boo. You learned them. You learned them techniques. You need me to buy you a brush? I'll buy you a brush. Get you a detangling brush. I got you, fam. Yeah, if you don't care about how you look out in public, how you smell, because I'm gonna tell you right now, if we lay down in bed and you smell like ass,
I'm telling you, go wash your ass,
no.
or else I'm bringing
I'm kicking you water out on your ass. Because this is dating we're talking about. This is dating. Okay. You are out on your ass. I will not. Because if your armpits stink, that means your dick stinks, and I'm
good. God,
Jesus.
Oh.
Okay.
This is happening.
I'm done.
In par with that, I think mine is the way you dress as well.
Oh gosh, it's so freaking sexy.
Right, and I'm not saying that. Like I'm like, come on, somebody could put on a Target tee and make it look great. So it's just like
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to go with a Gucci suit and all these other brand names just to dress nice. It's just being able to put this color and this color does not go together, so I will not put them on my body. This and this goes together, so I will put this on my body. It's clean.
Yeah.
There's no stains. My shoes are in order. They're tidy. They're neat. Okay, cool. I look presentable. Go out the house.
Also, knowing how to dress for the occasion.
Yes.
That too.
If you don't know how to dress for the occasion and you're not willing to ask for help, ooh, red flag,
Oh.
don't go. Got to go, because if you're going to show up looking like a 1985 prom,
Oh no.
I'm out. I will not claim you. I will tell them you are not my guest. I will not do that. But I'm shallow. I just want you to know. Sorry, I'm done.
Now it's stuck in my head. Jeez, man.
My bad, boo. I didn't mean it. I mean, I did, but all right. Well, I think I'm good. Are y'all good?
Yep.
Copacetic.
Y'all let us know what some of the things y'all find attractive and unattractive, and we want to hear all about it. Just put it out there. So we're gonna go into our social media moment, y'all. So I'm sure some of you have seen this because I've seen it several times on different platforms. But there is the talks of the town about a couple who sent a no-show, an invoice from their wedding. And they attached also the image of the invoice, and it is beautiful. I I have several thoughts on this, but it says in the notes, this being sent to you because you confirmed seat or seats at the wedding reception during the final head count, and almost pretty much the balance above is how much it costs to, have you at my wedding. But because you didn't call or give any proper notice that you would not be in attendance, this amount is what you owe us for your seat. Thank you in advance. Your payment can be done by Zelle or PayPal. Please let us know which method of payment works for you. Thank you. So this is a lovely little mini part 2 of our last conversation, or a conversation we had. I don't even know when we talked about this, but the week. Fuck. Yes. See, my whole life is fucked up. I'm sorry, y'all. I am on board with this because I'm all about holding people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the rudest thing to no-show at a wedding. That means you didn't call, you didn't text, you didn't send an email, you did no effort to let a motherfucker know you were not coming.
Yep.
And once again, weddings ain't cheap. So this invoice was for 2 people at $120. $120 per person. Because, by the way, that's almost a high mid cost per person for a wedding. Just put it out there. Yeah, bitch, you gonna pay me if you give proper notice. That's my opinion. If you put it on your invitation, there will be repercussions if you don't show up. When you send me your RSVP, I will let you know that. I will put it on my wedding website. I am trifling.
Not only that, for the fact that this was the final head count that you said yes to and didn't show up.
Right.
Like, first of all,
and most RSVPs are due at least about a month or so before.
Right.
So you have the month from when you sent it back saying yes up until literally a couple days before the wedding to let some motherfucker know you're not coming.
Right. And as the queen of denying invitations to things, I have no problem saying no to an invite that I don't feel like going to. Yeah, you're not obligated to go to anybody's event. And trust me, they won't be upset.
No, you saving the money.
Right. Especially if that means that there's one less person for them to pay for, even better.
1,000%.
Even better. That's vacation money that they could have saved for $240 a person. And I don't even want to know how many people there was. Did it say how many people there was?
It didn't.
And right. So and for the fact that they did that alone, it had to be at least a full table. That's a lot of money.
Well, and it was a wedding in Jamaica.
Right. So I would.
Oh hell
right.
no!
And I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You didn't book your flight.
Yeah. Like this was premeditated.
So that
you
those
weren't
people,
going to go.
So those people had no intentions of going.
Invoice.
Because I don't understand what people think because someone's having a destination wedding. Do you think that you don't fund yourself to get there, or are they supposed to pay for everything? Because I think that's what happens with people because they're so used to just getting in their car and driving to a venue.
Yeah.
Then when somebody has a destination wedding, like they think that, oh no, yeah, the bride and groom pays for everything. That's how we're getting there, just to find out. No. We have
Is your friend Bill Gates?
You. We'll have people who can help you book and reserve things, but other than that, no.
Also, in what world did I magically become Moneybags McGee?
Right.
Yeah, no, they would have me sincerely fucked up. So that means if it was a destination when they probably didn't have a passport. They probably didn't book their flight. They didn't book the hotel. They missed a lot of key moments to be like, oh, I don't think we can do this.
Right. And
they weren't planning on it.
Right. And normally if somebody's gonna have a destination wedding, you normally know almost a whole year in advance that this person is having a destination wedding.
The audacity.
So it's just like, so you telling me that a passport literally just takes you literally like 5 minutes to apply for, especially a US passport, and it takes maybe a month for you to get it.
Yep.
So yo's telling me that you couldn't prepare yourself. So you telling me that you couldn't save $100 a week just to buy your plane ticket to go out to wherever the destination was. But okay.
Nah, not even digging that deep. At that point, they decided it was too much work. So at that point, when they decided it was too much work to go through the process of getting to my wedding, they should have been like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to make it to your wedding.
Yep.
And I hate to say this, but we have to put it in there. The couple was black.
The majority of their guests were black. And I love black people, but y'all be on some bullshit.
Get your shit together. Because y'all
people
stay,
time ain't it.
Not even the time. Like y'all stay like accepting invitations to places, but don't show up.
Oh, I've had events where people like a third of the event didn't show up, and they told them that day that they weren't showing up.
That's rude as hell. Because you knew you weren't coming for days. You knew you weren't coming for weeks before. Yeah. So yes, invoice well deserved. Paid them back. Runs them pockets.
You didn't have the money to show or to give me a text because I thought we stopped paying per text a long time ago, but
right. Clearly not.
So you can pay off this debt within the next X amount of months, but you can pay me back. Yeah. I'll be showing up to your house.
Right.
People forget you can show up to motherfuckers' houses. Sorry, that's crazy. I shouldn't say these things. Anyways. Oh, I'm just kidding, y'all. Anyways, so yeah, I think we're all in agreement. Fuck those people who have the audacity to be rude as hell and no show to any wedding destination or not.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Yeah, fuck them. Anyways, speaking of fuck these motherfuckers, so Texas, that's how we acting now. This is how we feel. Like wholeheartedly, this is how we feel. This is the time and energy we're spending in Texas. Y'all got a lot of things to. Y'all must have accomplished a lot of things if this is what's on next on the list. Y'all got the time because apparently there was nothing else going on in Texas that needed further and more attention than the woman's body and what she has the right to choose
Not the
to do.
infrastructure that you can't even support your neighborhood and your communities during storms and hurricanes. No.
Oh, not the fact that electricity or most utilities that are utilities in other states are not utilities in Texas. So they can charge you whatever you want. Oh, that's perfectly fine because my Texas friends are getting rich off of that. That's perfectly
Mm-hmm.
fine. Got it. Got it. Understood. Understood. Um, and the, I'm sorry. I feel like we have a lot of stuff to work on right now. You know, climate change. The world is
Mm.
literally fucking ending. Um, what?
Mm-hmm.
So we have time to restrict women. Is it what 6 week mark is the latest that
Yeah.
they
Yes.
can?
Which is
6
normally
weeks.
the time that most women find out they're pregnant.
It's a setup.
Yes, it is.
A fucking setup.
It is.
I swear, once they start finding women, sadly, in the back of trash can areas, in the back of buildings, having abortions that are completely just, I can't even imagine, just not even medicinally right.
Swamp
It's it's
trailers.
it's gonna mm, it's going to be horrible because that stuff should be taking place in an office in a very secure place because that kind of right is very sacred to a woman, whether they want to do it or not. Because at the end of the day, a woman doesn't want to do that. They don't want to go through that. It's traumatic.
Yep.
Emotionally,
So,
physically.
yeah,
Yep.
everything. It's a toll that a woman is going to have for the rest of her life.
Yep.
So, for men to have a say or think they have a say in what a woman does with her body, you can fuck off real quick
Real quick, in the words of
because
that
this foot's
senator,
about to be in your ass.
in the words of that senator, what was her name? Jen. What's her name?
Saki?
Yes. As she
Mm-hmm.
said, I know you've never been pregnant or had to carry a child, so you wouldn't understand.
Yep.
And
I
also,
love that
until
woman.
that moment comes, mind your motherfucking business.
That
Yep.
too. That works as
Because
well.
when men can stop popping out babies, we will be happy to step aside and let y'all do that.
Mm-hmm.
Last time
I
I heard,
Maybe.
personally would.
last time
I
I heard,
personally.
vasectomies are reversible.
Yeah.
And even if they not, you still can't bear these children, so you mind your motherfucking business.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a war on a women's reproductive rights. I don't get it.
I
Oh, it
Like,
makes it
swear.
worse because it's a attack. So anyone who in the state, because there's several states in this country right now, if someone finds out that you want to get rid of your pregnancy,
Mm-hmm.
they will
they will
literally come try to
hunt you
murder you.
down and trap you until you give birth to that child.
Yep.
I heard a horrible story about a woman and her ex-husband, and he basically snitched her out that she was pregnant and she wanted to get rid of his baby. And these people, who I will not need to say, took her, kept her in a room, chained her in that room, and kept her and
Mm-hmm.
force fed her until she had that baby. Oh, wait, no, I think she was actually in a medically induced coma. And she was also snatched in the middle of the night.
Oh.
I think that happened in Columbus, Georgia.
This one was in Utah.
Oh, Utah.
Oh,
Okay.
those people.
Mm.
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
those
not going to say
people.
names, but
We know who you're talking about. Those people.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. People having opinions about what's happening in my womb? No.
No.
The part that annoys the shit out of me is the fact that, but once that child is brought into the world, no
You ain't finna do
one no
nothing.
longer cares.
No.
And it's just like, so you're forcing women to have children that they don't potentially want or know that they cannot afford, because that's what it is majority of the time, that
Mhm.
women know that they cannot afford to raise this child, because 9 times out of 10 they're also having it because they know that father's a deadbeat, or they're not going to have the same type of support as rich families who can or hire nannies for their children, and they know
Yep.
they don't have those lifestyle, and they know they can't afford it, or maybe something is medically wrong with them with where they have to get it. And it's just like, so they pop out these babies now, and what happens to the child?
Oh, people say, well, abortion, not abortion, adoption is the option. No, it's
No,
not.
it's not, because then
Mm-mm.
some of those
No.
children stay in the adoption system and stay orphans or stay in foster systems for a very long time.
And get sent to
Yeah.
homes
Right.
that are
Right.
most often horrible,
Abusive.
abusive, or people who are just taking advantage of the money and will actually be
Mhm.
neglecting the child. and have no supervision of all the different children that they're hosting
Yep.
because
Yeah.
they don't give a fuck.
Basically.
Yeah, no. Don't tell me to put. I, I think we've said this on this before. If I'm going to give birth to a child, that's my child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to go through hours and months and X amount of time in labor and getting ready to bake this thing for me just to hand it off.
And I need people to stop looking at movies and think that every single pregnant woman that does not want to keep a child but will carry it full term gets to find a family for their child, because it's not like that for everybody. That's movie and TV. Some children are in these systems till
From
they
birth.
till they're from birth until the time when they're emancipated out, which is 16 in most states.
Mhm.
So it's no, don't do that. Those are just movies and TV shows. Not every pregnant person that doesn't want to keep a child can find a family within the 9 months of their pregnancy to take their kid for them.
Yeah.
No.
Not everybody
Because
gets
adoption's a hard thing actually to
Right.
get into.
Exactly.
It is.
Because they are very specific about who they allow to be adoptive parents.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
but anyways, go fuck yourself.
And I think those families too, like they go through their own screening processes of the mother, and they can literally choose whether they want that child or not. So now, God forbid, the mother was a young, God forbid, she was addicted to drugs or something like that, and she got pregnant while she was addicted to drugs. They don't want that child.
Right.
So it's just like not everybody, everything is situational.
I think one of the biggest things about this is nobody thinks about being in the other person's shoes.
Nope.
Like, you will never understand what it is to be a woman at any age, because basically as a little girl, a girl literally has to start becoming a quote woman by the time she gets her menstrual cycle.
Yep. Or
The
people already
fact
start
that
calling her a woman at that age.
yeah, the fact that girls have to go to school come 12 to sometimes 14 years old when they get their first one. They have to be responsible of their hygiene to a maximal potential. The fact that the girl has to wake up every single month and has to take charge of what comes out of her body for at least a week, and she has to make sure that she's smelling good, that she's taking care of all of her feminine hygiene, that she has her tampons, her pads, her liners. At any given moment, something
If
could
she
happen.
can afford it.
Right, if she can afford it. Because that pink tax is something fucking serious.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole nother thing that we got to march on.
Mm-hmm.
It's too much.
Don't need other people's opinions.
Nope.
No.
On my body.
Like, I understand that a lot of women out here want to march to free the nipple, but not the bigger option, but not the bigger parts. Like,
first of all, can we end this free nipple train? As a person who lives in a very liberal town, I see a lot of free nipples, and I'm fucking over it.
Some of y'all nipples do not look good. So
your boobs should. Some people's boobs are not supposed to be braless.
They're not supposed to be free. Strap them puppies
swinging
down.
And that means I'm talking about skinny bitches, big bitches. I don't give a fuck. I don't want to see that shit.
Put them boys in a leash. This is not a Beanie Man song. Don't let them dogs out.
I don't want to see that shit.
No, we don't.
And as a woman who's very proud to be like, do you see that bitch's booty though? I do not want to be saying that about your boobs. But anyways, super side tangent.
These are the stuff we need to free. Free our organs.
Free me as a female to choose how I want to live my life.
Free my womb.
Because there's plenty of children on this earth.
Yeah,
right.
And I was going to say, it's not helping the economy either. So we're trying to help you. Right. Like, I'm trying to help you. You trying to help me.
Y'all complaining that the public schools are bad, that neighborhoods are bad, that this is bad and that is bad, but you contributing to the bad.
Also, we don't need any more bad parents out here.
Nope.
No.
We don't need more children being unloved and uncared for.
Nope. We don't need to hear any more stories of children only eating cereal every day with no milk.
We don't need to hear about more mothers and children being killed because of attempted suicide or a domestic violence situation.
Yeah.
Or people having mental breakdown and taking their children with them. Like,
because also postpartum is a real ass shit.
And that's the part that these motherfuckers don't want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And also, if you're gonna enforce that all women have to have their full term pregnancies and take care of those children, then they need to add to the budget line a mom fund. If you want to
Yes.
require these women to do all this stuff, you need to be giving them money for the food, the pampers, the daycare, the schools, all of it. You need to be setting aside a paycheck for me every month, because
Mm-hmm.
just because someone else helped me make this, oh no, y'all both getting child support. If I have to keep it, y'all both paying me.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want to do that?
And telling women you have access to food stamp and WIC when you're up until your kid is like 2 or 3 in most places. No, that's not enough. Because half the time you can barely even buy the correct nutritional things for your kids.
Also, those do not always help, because there's very restrictive. So if you make too much money, you don't qualify. But if you're making too much money for it, doesn't mean you're making enough money to pay your bills,
right,
and to feed your kid.
Yeah.
Right.
You're just on the line of the mediocrity of what you consider too much.
Yes. It's very discriminatory what this whole thing is.
Yep.
And I was just looking up some of the statistics, and nearly about 27% of abortions reported in Texas in 2018 were Black patients, and 39% were Hispanic patients. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that those two demographics have no type of knowledge or complete understanding of contraceptives, let alone do they think that they can get access to it or want to get access to it. So that's part of the issue that we're facing too, is that our own people, they know the consequences, but they don't want to really act upon preventing what could happen. And if they're in a situation like this, then they could end up doing something like the abortion.
Also, though, because this is not just Texas, and here in Virginia, it's the same way. When you force feed abstinence and you refuse to allow anyone to teach our children about proper ways to protect yourself and to experience life without ruining your life, they're forced to do it without the proper tools and proper planning, because they're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're going to bring also religion into it. So then you're going to make them question themselves as a person from a religious standpoint. So now they feel guilty, and they know they've sinned, and they know they're not ready for a kid. Oh, yeah. And then you're also not going to help them once the kid is here. You're going to judge them for being a baby mama. But, what do we know?
Or 16 and having a child. So it's like...
Right.
And judging them.
Right.
And not helping.
There's no win in it whatsoever. There never has been a win, and there never will be a win.
Everybody talks about it takes a community to raise a child, but when you're a teenager, or even just a person, a woman in general, raising a child by themselves, let me just make this even broader. When you're a woman raising a child by yourself, the amount of hate that comes your way, and the lack of community that comes your way, because if heaven forbid you don't got a family to be that support system you need, who's finna help you?
Right.
Yeah.
I love people that like to judge those who they've never experienced the person they're judging's life. You've had your family around you and helping and support you financially, emotionally, and physically your entire life. Your family has worked hard to get where they're at, but they've never had to worry about things that these people do.
Yeah.
And if push comes to shove and it ends up being that person in that scenario, they're going to be taken care of.
Yep.
Yes.
I know Melissa knows this, but I basically had a conversation with somebody like that already, where they are pro-life and they don't believe in abortions or anything like that, and had the audacity to tell me that even if I had a child, my parents are there to help me. I looked at this bitch and I said, I don't have your family dynamic. Both my parents work jobs. Both my parents do overtime at those full-time jobs that they have. It is not my responsibility to have my parents take care of my child, because this is not a communal responsibility. That may be okay in your family, but it's not in mine. this is something that me and my partner, if me and my partner decides to have a child or whatever the case was back then, I wasn't in a relationship. But either way you put it, I already said it myself. I've said it for a very long time. There will be no babies crawling out this vagina until there's a ring on this finger.
Yep.
Simple as that.
Oh no, when there's a marriage license signed and certified.
Oh,
And
that's
we
what
have copies.
that's my thing of a ring on this finger. Like
and we have copies.
That included everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is not to judge anyone else. That's our choice.
Because my parents' responsibility in my child's life is to spoil the shit out them like grandparents do, not to be their other parents. It's not my parents' responsibility to raise my children. So I don't like people use that. Oh well, you have help. You have your parents. I'm just like, that's not their.
Don't tell me what I have.
Right. It's just like, just because my parents are there doesn't mean people have similar dynamics.
You assume I have.
Right.
Oh, shit. Mind your business.
Right.
Bitch.
And we've talked about that on another episode.
Yes, we have.
It's our responsibility. Be a parent. Do what you laid down in the bed and did that one night, and take responsibility when the baby pops out.
Right.
In the words of South Park, if y'all haven't seen this episode, I saw it the other night for the first time in my life, and I was like, wow. There's an episode in South Park, I think it's like season 3 or 4, where Cartman becomes a teacher and he ends up at a Latino school, and one of his students tells them that she's pregnant, and he was already teaching them how to cheat in life, because that's how all these fuckers win. They cheat properly. And she was like, well, I'm Catholic, I can't do that, that's against my religion. And he said, oh no, honey, what do you think all of the rich women do? It's a part of their religion, and they still get them done.
Right.
Oh,
it's everyone likes to pick and choose in religion what matters most to them, but they don't like to talk about the other shit that's in their religion. All the nasty, toxic shit that we don't do anymore because it's nasty and toxic.
Like most of the Christian religions that tell you not to have intercourse outside of wedlock, but we still do it anyway.
Yep.
Okay.
Still do it anyway.
And we can have a whole conversation about religion, but at the end of the day, regardless of what my religion is not going to take care of this child.
It's not.
Nor it's going to pay for it.
No, it's not.
And it's not going to take care of it when I have to work a double shift in order to pay our rent. So, you and your religion and you and your balls can go mind your goddamn fucking business.
Stay out our uterus.
And rip R.I.P. RBG. Thank you. This is why I was terrified of Handmaid's Tale. This shit right here.
It's real.
If y'all never watch Handmaid's Tale, go watch that shit and you'll understand why I'm fucking terrified, because that's a real close reality. Because that actually is a thing. Fun fact. That religion is a thing and it's terrifying. Yeah.
I swear, this thing is so heated to me.
It's disrespectful. I just feel disrespected. It's just like, who?
Like, you're dead serious right now.
It's
you
like,
thought this was cool?
It's like, sirs, we don't even know who you are. You don't even personally know the stories of anybody living in your state.
Yeah.
You don't pay my taxes.
My taxes pay your bills.
And for anyone who can get out of Texas, I suggest you do.
Please do before they...
For multiple reasons, not even just this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Make like Harriet Tubman and flee.
You got to go.
I don't know if this is true or this was rumored in Texas, that also they have a law where a rape victim, the rapist,
yes,
can claim custody of a child.
Wait, say that again?
That the rapist can claim custody of the rapee's child, and same thing, force her to have the baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm not trying to go to jail today.
No.
Anyways, fuck this. Fuck that. Climate change. Women's rights. mind your goddamn business, and everybody go take a nap. Because clearly y'all ain't get y'all nap time and y'all acting out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just funny. I always see it like, and these people have daughters and like, you know, women in their life that's close to them that be practicing these things as well. And it's just like you understand how this also affects the women in your life as well. Like how would this
They don't
affect
care.
your wild 16-year-old daughter and stuff like that. So
These are also people who still say that women are hysterical.
Exactly.
Do you know how angry I get when I hear a man say, you're acting hysterical? Bitch, I will show you all the things.
like, oh,
Why did I immediately say in my head that TikTok song?
What?
Bitch. Corvette, Corvette.
You need to stay off TikTok.
Yeah, you stay off TikTok for a little bit.
You need it. I'm gonna need you to find another hobby.
The way you said bitch, though, that just popped into my head.
That was funny.
Listen, I don't choose violence on most days, but when I do,
it's for a reason.
It's for a reason, and also there's typically a warning. It might be only like 3 seconds, but I will give a warning before I unleash that bitch. Because no, I will leave this country so goddamn quick.
Mm-hmm.
Because at this point, who knows what's about to happen? And
Hey,
apparently there's a bunch of babies out there who need to be adopted. So I could just go get one of those.
The sad part is Europe ain't any better.
I know.
Because half of Europe is fighting anti-abortion laws as well, and contraceptive laws. Like they're trying to ban birth control, and especially Poland. That's where it's happening right now, where they literally pass laws to ban contraceptives.
That's because not just specifically Poland, but like there's some countries that I won't say the names that are forcing people to actively make babies. Like there's a baby time.
Yes.
There's a sexy time alarm that they get of you need to go make babies.
Yo, like
because of how many people also just in general because they want a bigger population, but also because of how many people could die from COVID.
Yep.
Fun fact.
It's so fucked up.
So also fuck those countries because you're not gonna tell me I have to make a child. I don't.
Not
who told
to
you I
be
want
too
one?
cynical, but maybe not to be too much of a cynic, but maybe the death of people may be a little bit not so harsh on
natural selection.
Oh yeah,
natural selection.
You weed out the weak. Darwinism.
Natural selection.
Galapagos Island. This is what we learned.
Some people decide that they need to die, and they do it on their own before they even know it.
And shit. Oh. No comments there, but you know what my comments are. In the words of Mobb Deep, survival of the fittest. Only the strong survive.
Yeah.
That's
anyways, if y'all want to have a dark conversation with us, we are always down for that.
You can just DM us and we'll have it.
Happily, we can make it a group chat.
Discord, where you at?
Audio responses, the easiest.
No, I don't want the paper trails.
I thought I said audio.
Oh, okay, got it.
Audio responses, yes. No, girl, come on, stop playing.
I thought you meant like messages.
No. Like literally speaking, and you listen, and it deletes.
Gone.
Yes. Anyways, y'all have anything else?
No.
All right. Well, mind your wombs.
Mind your business.
That too. Kelly, if you can also tag Mind Your Womb. We tagged them before.
Oh yeah.
And when we do this episode, that'll be fabulous.
That was already planned.
Ah, beautiful. Love it. Our minds work well. All right. Well, we're gonna wrap this sucker up because it's time for meatballs and I'm ready to eat. We're going to wrap this up with our weekly recommendations. So that is anything and everything that we think will help improve your day, your week, your life, whatever works for you, boo. And it can be music, movies, or advice. So speaking of meatballs, mine's is y'all need to cook at home. I'm dead serious.
What the heck? Where'd that come from?
Okay, so on this little mini trip that we did, of course, y'all know I already told y'all I don't go below South Carolina and I don't go above Pennsylvania on the East Coast. It's a no for me. I'm good. So I went to North Carolina and this was a Friday night. And when I tell you every single fast food establishment had a line around the building at least twice in the drive through, everybody and their mama was buying food.
That's crazy.
And I was like, y'all don't cook?
No.
That's the norm.
They only cook for family gatherings. And when they cook
Yep.
for family gatherings, the food is as greasy as the food that they're buying.
Dog. Me and my boyfriend cook at least 5 times a week.
Yeah.
At this point, I cook like 2, maybe 3 times a week. And it's only because of the fact that my man comes home super late, so he's more tired than he is hungry. And I already told you guys, usually the nighttime I have a smoothie. So that's it. It's been great on your bowels. Stop, that greasy food.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
how many beer belly babies I saw? Like, I saw a lot of full term beer belly babies this weekend, and I was like, I don't miss this shit at all.
Nope.
And no shaming, no fluffy people, but there's fluffy, and then let's just be real, there's fat. I'm sorry, y'all need to like take care of y'all health. Y'all want to live on this earth so long. You know how that happens. You got to take care of yourself.
But the thing is that's so crazy about it. Like, having fast food in moderations is fine. Like, if
in moderation,
like you make it a trip once a week or something like that, once every other week if you need it that bad, then once a week. But
see, I'm used to seeing the Chick-fil-A line being that packed.
Oh yeah,
that's normal at this point.
Oh, yeah.
I'm used to seeing that shit.
Definitely.
But every single establishment, y'all, Wendy's, Bojangles, McDonald's, everything except for Starbucks that had a drive-through had a line.
Can we just blame it on the fact that it was the weekend?
No, actually,
no,
I think it has a lot to do with COVID.
I think it is like a normal thing. It's an everyday thing.
I think it happened even worse because of COVID.
Maybe that's the reason why the fast food industry, especially in the South, is like one of the heaviest employed and heaviest.
No, we just eat too much.
No. Yep.
We just eat too much. It's not even. It's bad. It's bad too. Every occasion involves food.
Yeah, like it's crazy because my boyfriend, being European, like he always complains about like the meat portion of food here. He was just like, when he gets like a sandwich, like a chicken sandwich, he's like, why is the patty so fat? Or why is there so much meat on this plate? Like, and it literally bugs him out.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of get it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to eat. Y'all know.
Because I be eating the corners of my chicken sandwich at this point. Only.
I eat all my food. My plate is clear when I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
There are bones and crumbs left. I don't play these games. But y'all need to start cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to start knowing what's in your food, so that way you know when you eat bad food, like you could see how that affects your body compared to when you cook your food.
These motherfuckers be knowing. Half of them be having to take Pepsid and stuff like that in the nighttime.
No, the food that they cook at home is stuff that you buy in the freezer. I'm talking about cook your food, like buy fresh ingredients. Obviously, this is for anyone who could afford it. This is not, if you can't afford it, I can't knock what you do to survive. But those who can't afford it, buy your fucking fresh vegetables. Go buy a box of pasta and some tomato sauce and have some vegetables and some meat. Like, y'all can have a balanced diet. It's okay. I know it's hard. But having fried chicken at home is not what I mean by cook at home. I mean, like, cook a balanced meal.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. A side, a main meat,
not
something with a green
cheese only. Not green beans drenched in butter.
Oh gosh.
Or collard greens just cooked in lard.
Roast your vegetables.
Those are not veggies.
No, they're not.
That's why they call it comfort food.
Once you lose the actual green out of the food, there's no nutritional benefits.
Brown.
Ugh.
I mean, I love me some good collards.
They're so good though.
But That is not everyday food. That is Sunday food. Keyword soul food always happen on
Mm-hmm.
Sundays.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there for those who want to do better. I'm trying to do better because being fluffy is cute, but it affects you long term. And I want to live and bear children and all the things. So, whatever. I'm done.
That was a good one.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
You can go, Kelly.
I think what I'm going to say is we have got to stop excusing adult ignorance. You know,
Who pissed you
I'm
off this
about
week?
tired of it. Oh, this week has been just a shit show, you know? Um, it has a lot to do with the fact that, unfortunately, the whole Hurricane Ida and that whole freak accident travesty that you want to call it that happened on the East Coast from Philadelphia up to New York and beyond,
Mm-hmm.
all that flooding and stuff. And the amount of times that I heard on the news, on social media, in passing people on the street, they have the nerve to say, I didn't think this could happen here. I didn't know that we got tornadoes. We're in Maryland. Oh, I didn't know that it could flood. Like, where the fuck have you been? Have you not watched the Weather Channel? Have you not been
Nope.
paying attention to science, you know?
Nope.
I have an issue with that because the
Yep.
people who are talking this way have full on family and kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So I'm more concerned of your kids at this point because you're teaching your kids not to be aware of anything.
Yep.
You're not teaching them to be weather aware. You're not teaching them about climate change. You're not teaching them about just the fact that you need to be on your own and do your own research because that's what's going to get you far in life.
Yep.
And it's completely, to me, it's like child neglect. It's child endangerment and it's endangerment to your own life
Yep.
because the fact that I saw people on the news literally standing in a Target, looking outside the window and seeing a freaking tornado pass them by and they're not even ducking and covering. Like, did we forget elementary school? Duck and cover, stop, drop, and roll. You know, the two things that go with a tornado and a fire that happens. It's like nobody knows what to do, and it's very concerning.
Oh, someone took a picture of the tornado from their floor apartment.
I'm just like, yes,
Mm.
please get ripped away now.
Oh,
Yeah, that's where you
gosh.
want to be during a tornado, not in the
Yeah,
basement.
stories high.
You know what it is too? 'Cause I think people get comfortable with their surroundings and they don't
Mm-hmm.
expect unpredictability.
No.
Complacency.
Yep. They just get so comfortable with it. Like people over here, like they're like, "Oh my god, the subways are flooding. The mayor did a
Mm-hmm.
bad job." It's just like it's a subway. It's underground. Water travels
Right.
down. What do you expect to
First
happen?
of all, what the mayor got to do with this?
What
Right.
he's supposed to do? Go in there with a bucket and dip the water out, like,
No, he's supposed to create a giant umbrella over the
Mm-hmm.
city.
and block the rain, like.
Yep, that was what he was supposed to do. Got it.
Right, and the whole time I'm sitting there, and I'm just like, and then the videos that I was seeing too of people like still trying to get into the train station while there's
Yes.
water pouring into the train station, or standing there filming the water pouring into
Mm-hmm.
the train station from the ceilings, still standing there, and I'm just like, oh my god,
Yeah.
what
I
is
don't care
wrong with
what
these
happens.
people? It's like screw my life.
And another thing to put out there too is I get some people don't are not on this whole vaccination train or whatever the case is. But my thing is if you are with an entire family and you have kids who are not even close to getting vaccinated and you're completely unvaxxed, you're not doing anything like wearing masks or being protective of where your kids go, anything like that. To me, you're just setting up your kid to fail and for them to be at risk of contracting something like this. It's nothing to be like put to the side about.
Yep.
Like I had somebody in my family that I'm not close to at all, so it doesn't even matter to me personally,
Yeah.
but he died just a couple weeks ago. He was a teacher at a school in Florida, nasty old Florida,
Mm.
and he died because he didn't get vaccinated at the school that he was at, and it was an elementary school, and he left behind a wife and two children
Oh
ages
no.
4 and 7 years old,
Oh
not
no.
even close to getting vaccinated. So how the hell are you going to be one, a teacher, and two, a parent of young kids that now they won't even really remember you, and now they're without a father, and your wife is without her husband because you were being neglectful and you weren't being responsible as a human being to be concerned of your own family at home and then the family or the kids of other family members that basically you have all control over during those 8 hours of the school
Right.
day.
Like those other families are trusting you with the life of their
Yep.
children.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I say, if you're not gonna go give back, stay the fuck away from everybody else.
Yes,
Be
please.
responsible about it. Be responsible about it.
And stop being ignorant.
And even if you are vaxxed, stay the fuck away from people. And also be responsible about that shit too.
Yep. Get your necessary test. Get your test going and get your test coming back. You don't have to tell me that you got it if I know, because I know y'all would. I don't need to know, but just be respectful of other people. That's it. I'm done.
Yep. All right. So mine is on a more lighter note. As a person just coming back from a vacation in a very beautiful country, we had a great time. And I personally think that we were safe while we were there. We did the right things that we needed to do for ourselves. But as a person, as being a tourist, I feel like people in the islands are very disrespected. People, I understand that people go on vacation to relax and enjoy, but at the same time, these are people's jobs, and do not fuck with their jobs, because these people, like us, have mouths they need to feed, bills that they need to pay, and it's even harder for them to do it sometimes. So be respectful and fucking tip these people. We don't know what happens to their day-to-day life that makes them have to come here and put on a turn maybe a frown into a smile just to make your day pleasant. Make their day pleasant. Give them a fucking dollar or something, because a dollar goes a long way in a lot of Caribbean countries. A dollar's not going to kill you. And if you can't, and if you feel so highly of yourself not to tip, don't go there. Don't go anywhere that you may need to tip. Because when me and my boyfriend were tipping, people were looking at us like we're crazy. Yeah. So, and we realized that it's a very Western mentality to do stuff like that. So, yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So, yeah. Don't feel entitled just because you're on vacation. These people have families and mouths to feed, and they're also working through COVID to give you some type of enjoyment to get away from your reality. These are these people's reality. Seeing your ugly ass face every day. So tip.
Stank ass face.
Stank ass face. Hot ass breath. Y'all be all up in these motherfuckers' face and they be trying to get away.
Sweaty.
Yes. So
got sand all in your ass crack.
Tip them. Once you tip them, I swear to God, like they're like your experience with them becomes even more phenomenal because they remember you. They remember you.
Also, if you don't have it like that,
don't go on vacation.
Don't go on vacation, but also treat people still with respect.
Yep.
Because if you don't have the money to tip, fine. Broke people need a vacation too. Right. I get it. I'm broke too. Right. I'm with you. But if I don't have the money to tip, I'm gonna treat everybody with so much kindness. I'm not gonna be rude. I'm gonna do whatever I can. That's not even inconveniencing me. Just being a decent human being.
Right, and these people literally work like 10 to 15 hours a day. Like,
sure do.
On those resorts, they're there from the time activity starts to the time that resort closed down activities. So it's just like these people are here and they probably don't even see their families every day, because a lot of them stay in the resort housing. Like the resort will give them housing for like their days of work, so they'll probably only get like 1 or 2 days off to go back to their families.
It's so true.
So yeah, they're not home every day like how we get the opportunities to come back home to our house and our families every day. So treat them kind. Treat my Caribbean people kind.
Love it.
All right. Wow. Lots of knowledge, lots of gems. Take it, leave it. We love you anyways. Well, anything else, ladies?
No, we're gonna get you to your meatballs.
Yes, IKEA meatballs. All right. Well, that is all the time we have for today's episode. But thank you for listening to High Tea with Mel, Helen, K. Go ahead. You know the drill. Leave us a 5-star review. We don't mind. Leave us a review, 5 stars, iTunes. We love you. If you want to share your tea with us, please go ahead and you can send us an email or go on the landing page that Miss Kelly created for us and submit your story. We would love to know all about it. And you can follow us on Instagram at hight_podcast and follow us on Twitter at hightpod1 and take a look at the description for everything high tea. We'll see you next week. Love you.